the general insurance, which means that it covers the non-life assets such as your home, vehicle, health, travel, and from floods, fire, theft, accidents, and other man-made disasters. A comprehensive motor policy is one which will provide you a 360-degree protection, a complete protection to your vehicle against damages. And this travel insurance will help you to cover your baggage loss, or will help you to cover all kind of emergencies and exigencies that are happening, any kind of losses that happen during the travel. Good morning and welcome to the fourth session of Unit 4 in Management of Banking and Insurance Services. And in this session, we are going to talk about the non-life insurance. Apart from the life insurance and apart from health, there are also non-life insurance factors which play a very great role in our day-to-day business. So let's have a quick look into what are these non-life insurance factors all about. Now, starting with the general insurance, which means that it covers the non-life assets such as your home, vehicle, health, travel, and from floods, fire, theft, accidents, and other man-made disasters altogether. So here it is very clear that the general insurance is a type of insurance which is going to cover you and different aspects, especially when you start talking about a motor insurance, health, travel, home, and that of any of the commercial insurance altogether. So these are not something which are related to your life. This is not something related to the death or any other factors, but this is completely related to your property and to your asset. Now, moving forward, let's start with the health insurance. Now, a health insurance is like a general insurance which has got an indemnity plan and that pays for hospitalization expenses up to the sum insured. While you can avail a standalone health policy, a family floater provides coverage to all members of your policy. Now, this is highly important and mandatory altogether. So when we are talking about this family floater plans, these days when you happen to go for any hospitalization or if you happen to go into any kind of medical emergency altogether, the cost factor is very high. Normally, the companies try to provide a medical insurance only for you, but here what they tend to do is that they try to provide an hospitalization coverage in terms of family floater where you can cover the entire family for the insured value. So this is becoming a very important factor for each one of us to know and each one of us to understand. These are called as the floater plans that provide coverage to all the members of your family. Now, this is a kind of insurance which is only for the hospitalization and the benefits that will be covered under that plan alone. This is not like a life insurance, so it is not going to provide any term life coverage altogether. Moving forward, motor insurance, a very common and known factor when it comes to insurance business, and that is called as your motor insurance. That covers your vehicles against accidents, damage, theft, vandalism, and so on. This is called as a form of policy which comes in two factors where we call it as a comprehensive and a third party. A comprehensive motor policy is one which will provide you a 360-degree protection, a complete protection to your vehicle against damages caused due to any flood, riot, or any kind of thing. Along with this, you also provide you a rider, that is a personal accident coverage with a third party liability coming into picture. On other hand, a third party motor insurance takes care of the damages that are suffered by the third party in case of accident that has been happened to you or any kind of things that are being covered against the vehicle. For your case, as per Motor Vehicles Act of 1988, it's mandatory for every vehicle plying on the road to have a third-party insurance coverage. Now, when you look into the comprehensive part in motor insurance, it is more from a comprehensive coverage, which means to say an overall coverage that has been provided to your car or to your motor insurance. Why? Because this motor insurance is something which will help you to protect yourself that is your vehicle, at any given point of time from any kind of incident happening altogether. Whereas a third party insurance is only going to cover you in case of accident, and that is very, very rare in nature altogether. Now, there might be reasons for your car to get damaged by a flood or by a fire or by a riot or some mob or some kind of external activities. At that point of time, you will be left helpless if you have not taken a comprehensive policy. So that is why most of the motor insurance companies always ask you to take a comprehensive policy that can keep your vehicle covered under any circumstances. Plus, it comes with a rider which says a personal accident coverage along with the third party. So it is a more of a combination of various policies put together. Whereas in a third party insurance, you will be able to claim that insurance only in case of accident. Moving forward, the home insurance. The most important factor, the most important asset in our life is our very sweet home. So if you are not protecting that home, then it is always in trouble. So that's why it's always suggested that you take a home insurance coverage. So as the name suggests, a home insurance policy protects your home and its belongings from damages suffered due to man-made or natural disasters. Some home insurance also provide coverage for temporary living expenses in case you are living on rent due to home undergoing renovation. So home insurance is one of the most important factors through which you will be able to cover your home factors and its belongings, and at any given point of time you can see that the home insurance will go forward and protect you from any accidental repairs, renovation, changes and all those factors. So this is also a very, very important non-life insurance policy which will try to help you step by step in terms of covering your home and your beneficiaries. Moving forward, it's a cooperative device. So the most important factor, as I've always told you in your every insurance plan, it's a cooperation of large members put together. So all these persons join hand together, then only the risk factor can be avoided. So cooperation, without the activity and involvement of so many people, insurance can never ever be solved easily. Followed by the value of risk. Every time the value of risk, even in the non-life insurance sector, has to be assessed, and based on which the premium will be judged upon. The premium purely depends on the type of matter that comes into the factor for insurance. So if it is the subject matter is of a high risk nature, suppose your car is of a high value, if the ship is of a high value, the house is of a high value, then automatically the premium paid for that subject will also be on the higher side. Followed by the travel insurance. These days, people travel a lot from one country to another country. So travel insurance becomes a very, very important factor which could help the people to cover any kind of emergencies and exigencies that happen during the travel. So in case if you are traveling abroad, a travel insurance will protect you against the losses suffered due to the loss of baggage, delays in flight, trip cancellation, and in some case, if you are being hospitalized while traveling, a travel insurance will help you to get a cashless treatment benefit done altogether. So what you see here is that many times when people are traveling to abroad, there might be a lot of unforeseen situation that can happen to you or to your family. So at that point of time, it's always suggested that you go through a travel insurance and keep yourself and your family booked under all conditions as far as possible. And this travel insurance will help you to cover your baggage loss, or will help you to cover all kind of emergencies and exigencies that are happening, any kind of losses that happen during the travel, or any kind of hospitalization or any other factors that happens. All these things will be covered under the travel insurance. Moving forward, the payment of fortuitous loss, which is a very, very important concept. The difference between a life and general insurance comes here. In life insurance, we are only trying to cover your life and provisions. And in general insurance, we are trying to cover the property or the subject matter here. So what happens here is that the indemnity factor is different in general insurance when compared to that of the life insurance. Why? Because it is a promise made to save only your goods and not your life. Whereas in life insurance, it is more about you and your death benefits altogether. So life and general, the way they look at the insurance is entirely different. In general insurance, it is always possible to replace a good, whereas in life insurance, once the person passes away, you cannot replace him back. Only a beneficiary allowance can be provided. The purpose is that life insurance gives out a payout in case of policy person dies, and in the case of general insurance, any uneven expected thing happens, only a replacement, that is in terms of a compensation, will be given. Now, there is also a fortuitous loss that comes in terms of contract and payment. Life insurance is a lifelong contract, whereas the general insurance is only a short-term contract which happens year on year. The other thing is that with life itself being an insurable factor, the policyholder must be present during the issuing of life insurance policy, whereas in general insurance, the policyholder must be present only during the time of contract and at the time of loss. It doesn't happen that he has to be there every time, because here he is trying to insure the property and not himself. So that is where the difference of life insurance and general insurance comes into picture. Followed by the other factor where we are trying to talk about the payment of claim. In case of life insurance, the insurable amount is paid only on the occurrence of death or particular factors, the event of maturity. In case of general insurance, the losses are immediately given back. Policy value of the life insurance is done based on the premium of policy on which you are insured. In general insurance, the amount payable is restricted to the liability that is incurred because of the loss suffered due to that particular property. So here, the more the premium, more the coverage on your life insurance, whereas in general insurance, it is more about the type of property, the type of loss, and the weightage and the value that can occur altogether. With this, I come to the conclusion of today's session. I hope and believe that all the information provided here is of a great help and resource to you. In the upcoming sessions, we will be seeing more about the various type of banking services that are helping our economy to grow. Until then, stay tuned, stay blessed, and stay enlightened forever. Thank you once again for joining me on this wonderful session.